That's why you should always lock your door when you sleep in a hotel. This man was in the bathroom when someone tried to get into his hotel room by unlocking the door. Look what happened next.
Her daughter kept telling her not to go to the other room, but as she does, this happens. A mother recorded a horrifying video where her daughter Blakey started seeing someone watching them from her room.
I don't know what to do. Just a couple minutes ago, I got up and I closed my door because she kept pointing to my room saying, "Mommy, Mommy, someone's over there." Mommy's gonna go open the door, okay? I'll be right back. It's okay.
Freaked out, she opens the door, but no one's there.
Okay. It's okay.
Write me what you think in the comments. Personally, I find the video creepy.
Blakey, you okay? Do you want me to go open the door?
Her bird promised her it wouldn't hurt her.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
I'm right here.
Come on.
I'm right here.
Come here.
This is as close as I'm gonna get, baby.
Here.
I think you're gonna bite my toes.
No. I'm not gonna hurt you.
This parrot has gone viral in America because it's terrifying. The truth is, it's an animal that's been mistreated. The phrases he repeats on a loop didn't come out of nowhere. It's what he heard just before he was hit. His former owners were abusive and would say things like that to him before hurting him.
Sorry. Yeah, see? That's why. See? You scare me.
So he's learned that these phrases are what you say just before you attack. And here's another parrot who starts laughing all by himself in the middle of the night, startling his master.
What? What's so funny? What are you laughing at?
Here's an even scarier one. And this parrot saved a family from a fire.
He says that having his own fingers amputated has made him feel more complete. Yet he says he's only 46% of the way to becoming an alien. And what he has planned next is disturbing. This man hails from Montpellier, France, and his name is Anthony Lafredo. Anthony calls himself the Black Alien. He began his transformation at the age of 27, and in order to look less and less like a human, he's already had tattoos all over his body, as well as numerous cosmetic surgeries such as removing his tongue, nose, ears, and 2 fingers. He's also had his teeth dyed purple, and the whites of his eyes black. He even had silicone implants implanted. To justify all this, he explains, first you have to know what you want. Then you have to have the courage to say it. And finally, you have to have the energy to do it. According to some sources, his next steps are to have his legs amputated and to become very thin. So we wonder what he'll look like when he's reached 100% of his transformation. And more importantly, we wonder why nobody's stopping him because he's clearly hurting himself. But he says, I'm lucky enough to live the life I want, to do what I want physically. It's absolute freedom. There's no one to stop me. Except that he still complains when he gets kicked out of public places like certain restaurants, which don't hesitate to ask him to leave. This man was playing with his son, but suddenly, this thing is a suspected Skinwalker. Skinwalkers are a kind of demon. Well, most of the time, the Skinwalker takes the form of an animal, as in this video. Here, he's taken the form of a dog.
No.
Let me see. I'll know if she's my dog. Merlin, sit. Turn around. Turn around. Lay down. You're not my dog.
Fortunately, this woman knows her dog well and didn't make the mistake. So you're probably wondering where these things come from. They come from Navajo culture and are malevolent spirits that can metamorphose, take over, or take on the appearance of an animal or a person in order to deceive and manipulate us. Like here, for example. In this video, we see a skinwalker who has taken on the form of a man.
Oh. Hey, neighbor. Is it hot in here, or is it just a little cooler?
Most of the time, they hang around at night and near places where there are forests, and their presence is very often accompanied by a blood-curdling scream. Like this one, for example. And so, fun fact, not fun at all. In fact, skinwalkers are basically wizards who've killed their loved ones. Subscribe and tell me things I should make a video about.
This doorbell camera captured a strange man disturbing his neighbor. This man was very persistent and pounded on the door. It happened several times a day. The woman who lives here refused to open the door. The strange man would bang on the door like this when the woman was outside or alone. He would ask about unknown people and knock on the door many times. He came once at 7 a.m. and knocked on the door, but nobody answered. The woman who lives in the house finally called 911, and the man was arrested by the police. And here's someone who obviously wanted to scare the people who live in this house disguised as a killer clown. Personally, I wouldn't open the door to him, and I think most people would never open their door to this type. He stood in front of the door for a while and then left. And here's a photo that was captured by a doorbell camera at night in the USA. It's really creepy.
What are your names?
His name's Ray.
Ray. I remember Ray. I photographed you, Ray. Do you remember?
It's America's most infamous family. The Whittaker family is an inbred family, and the person you just heard uttering those weird cries is called Ray. Barked an attic. It's his only way of communicating because due to an illness, he can't speak at all, despite being 69 years old. There are also other members of this family, such as Chimmy and Lorraine, who also suffer from a number of mental and physical disorders. The Whittakers live in West Virginia in a small cabin far from society. The parents of this family are said to be siblings, with a total of 16 children, and it is this consanguinity that explains the mental disorders.
What is it?
It's very difficult to get footage and the real story of this family, as they are highly protected by the local community and don't hesitate to be aggressive. The person who filmed the footage you are watching was greeted with a shotgun and threatened, so they had to be coaxed with alcohol and food to let the journalist film. This deer is dead, but it still walks. All these videos show scary deer that look like zombies because of a disease called CWD. Chronic wasting disease is a disease caused by a malignant protein in deer brains called a prion, which makes these poor animals look like zombies. The disease is transmissible from animal to animal and is spreading rapidly in the USA and some other countries around the world. Some scientists believe that this kind of disease could even reach humans. And the most terrifying thing is that this theory could actually be true. Look at this poor animal running around helplessly. He's so sick, he's not even afraid of the humans filming him. This deer probably won't survive and will die in the next few hours. But the problem is that it will transmit the disease to other animals, which will in turn transmit it until the planet is filled with real zombies. This is why you always lock your doors.
Who's that?
On July 31st, 2022, user Georgia Ramirez was arriving home one night with her son when her Ring doorbell camera captured something horrifying. A man was following them home and attempts to open the door with a sinister look in his eyes. He can also be seen hiding something behind him. The police was called and the man was left alone after his family explains he just has mental problems and poses no harm to Jojo and her son. It's left to wonder, would things turn out the same way if the door was left open for a little bit longer? I'll let you decide.
Who is that? Get out of here! Get out of here! There's a guy outside! Look!
This man was riding his bike when he was suddenly chased by angry dogs. He kept riding, then turned right. Then down a flight of stairs, down a steep incline, and finally escapes. And here's a man who has climbed onto the roof of a car to avoid being bitten. The driver of the car honks, but the man doesn't want to get out. He waits a while, then gets out of the car. And here's the worst case scenario. This pizza delivery man came to deliver an order to a house, but as he approached, an angry dog broke out of the front door and chased him.